Hello and welcome to the table. I'm Reverend Kirk Andrus, and I would like to share with you today from Daniel chapter 6, starting with verse 1. It pleased Darius to set over the kingdom 120 princes, which should be over the whole kingdom, and over these three presidents, of whom Daniel was first, that the princes might give accounts unto them, and the king should have no damage. Then this Daniel was preferred above the presidents and princes, because an excellent spirit was in him, and the king thought to set him over the whole realm. Then the presidents and princes sought to find occasion against Daniel concerning the kingdom, but they could find none occasion nor fault, forasmuch as he was faithful. Neither was there any error or fault found in him. Then said these men, We shall not find any occasion against this Daniel, except we find it against him concerning the law of his God. Then these presidents and princes assembled together to the king, and said unto him, King Darius, live forever. And the presidents of the kingdom, the governors and the princes, the counselors and the captains, have consulted together to establish a royal statute, and to make a firm decree, that whosoever shall ask a petition of any god or man for 30 days, save of thee, O king, he shall be cast into the den of lions. Now, O king, establish the decree and sign the writing, that it be not changed, according to the law of the Medes and Persians, which altereth not. Wherefore King Darius signed the writing and the decree. Now, when Daniel knew that the writing was signed, he went into his house, and his windows being open in his chamber toward Jerusalem, he kneeled upon his knees 3 times a day, and prayed, and gave thanks before his God, as he did aforetime. I want to talk to you about a simple word known as integrity today. Some have defined integrity as what you do when no one is watching you. Now, it's well known that there are folks who, when the boss or the teacher's around, they put on a big show. They try to make themselves look good. They follow all the rules while they're being watched. But when they think no one's watching, they'll go right back to doing things their own way. Now, a person of integrity will do the right thing even when no one is watching them. The Christian understands that there is always somebody watching. There's a scripture that says, the eyes of the Lord are in every place, keeping watch over the evil and the good. You see, God is always watching. He's keeping a record. In fact, the book of Romans chapter 14 tells us, even we believers will one day give account of ourselves to God. You know, it's interesting the kind of reputation that Daniel had. His enemies wanted to find accusation against him. They wanted to be able to accuse him. They looked over all the records. They looked over all the responsibilities that Daniel was involved in the kingdom. And as they searched, they weren't able to find accusation against him. Now, I believe it's important we as believers live in such a way where people are not able to find accusation against us. Now, it is true, people motivated by the devil may try to give you trouble, lie about you, say ugly things about you, do things they shouldn't be doing concerning you. But it's our responsibility to make sure that we haven't done anything that where we can be accused, where we've acted in a way that without integrity. A very important part of your witness as a believer is, with God's help, for you to live a life that is full of integrity, where no one is able to make an accusation against you. Now, in this story I've read to you, some of us are familiar with the story, Daniel in the lion's den, and that Daniel was falsely accused. They set him up. They said, the only way we can get at Daniel is to make some kind of law concerning not being able to pray to his God, which they did. But see, Daniel knew it was better to obey God than to obey the king's decree. So he just kept praying to the Lord, trusting the Lord, worshiping the Lord like he always had. And he was thrown into a den of lions for it. But the good news is, because he acted before God with integrity, because he had been set up, God saw to it that the lions' mouths were shut, and Daniel was protected, and Daniel was delivered. And the very enemies that tried to have him murdered were the ones that were thrown into the lion's den. It's important that we stay the course. When we get falsely accused, when we're treated unfairly, it's very easy for us to try to act in a way like others around us are acting, to get out of integrity, to begin to do the wrong thing. The temptation's there. But I want to encourage you today to stay the course. If you will act with integrity, God will give you favor and things will work out in time. But if you give in to the way the world's doing things, God is unable to bless you. And you're going to wind up in the same trouble that they're in. So make sure, some of you might be listening to this on Sunday and you got the week ahead of you. I want to encourage you, when you go out into the work world or when you go to school, act with integrity. Remember that God is always watching you. And he is so pleased when we do what is right in his sight. Remember, God never promised you a problem-free life, but you can have a victory-filled life. May God richly and abundantly bless you today.